The following is a presentation of TFNN. The Power Trading Hour with your host, David White. Call now, toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Internationally at 727-445-1044. Now, David White.
And welcome all to another exciting edition of the Power Trading Hour with me, your humble, lovable, and squeezably soft host. Every day we come to you at this time.
The following takes place between 2 p.m. and 3 p.m.
So what do we have going on today? Well, a little bit of a pullback, and we might be getting a big sell signal or confirmation. I think we've already gotten the sell signal. Actually, several days ago, maybe even midweek last week, that the die was cast. 23.91 as we start the show today. Of course, a little under what we had yesterday. Got down to 23.82 on the S&P cash. The NASDAQ, much more important, I suspect, out here, 61.12, although I'm not a big believer in pushing that too much. But what we do have in that is a pretty big signal under 61.02. We close under that today, and I'm going to say that we've got a market that is pulling back. Looking at options and what transpired in the last couple of days, I continue to suspect that we have weakness down to 23.30 through a week from tomorrow. So into the world, no. Nice pullback, yes. My guess is that pullback will start a bigger pullback that runs through at least June, if not throughout the entire summer. But we'll see how things develop. I'm pretty good at figuring out 2 to 4 weeks, kind of like telling the weather. But 6 months from now, your mileage may vary. Right now, I do see a lot of selling in the market. We've gone down through what should have been support and broke it. We've come back above it, but we've not had much in the way of juice since then. So everybody bought it, got it back up to above support, and then nothing. 2.15 billion shares so far on the NYSE consolidated tape. But that's kind of it at the moment. But I think we're in a selling mood. The judge is in the hanging mood. As always, we like to start off the show with a little bit of history.
Then it's all just a little bit of history repeating.
It is history repeating. And on this day, what do we have? 1979, software developers Dan Bricklin and Bob Frankston introduced VisiCalc, the first electronic spreadsheet. Suddenly, the PC can save hours of tedious work for its users, and suddenly investment bankers have a tool that enables them to calculate changing values of leveraged buyouts and corporate mergers almost instantaneously. The spreadsheet is one of the secret driving forces behind the LBO and takeover boom of the 1980s, as people who can't even do their own math acquire the ability to place values on businesses. And this really was one of the seminal moments in the computer business, as it finally issued what is known as the killer app. The killer app is kind of a thing in Silicon Valley, but it is the one product that makes everybody profitable. For this case, it was the Apple IIs came out with VisiCalc, and suddenly all these MBAs that had just graduated in the last few years from all the Ivy League colleges were figuring out how to use spreadsheets and value businesses, and that was it. That was the money that Apple needed to get to the Macintosh, and without it, you really didn't have anything. And of course, it actually drove IBM to get into the business of what they kind of despised as play toys. They liked selling big, expensive machines. Maybe they should have stayed there. Who knows? But in the meantime, it developed Apple, which developed Microsoft. Microsoft made the made the basic programming language for the Apple IIs. And of course, within a year, it was about a year and a half, PCs would come out with their MS-DOS disks, actually PC-DOS if you bought an original IBM. But of course, IBM got into a hurry and forgot to put a don't complete clause into Microsoft, and the rest is history. But very interesting idea. These guys had watched for the last 4 years college professors putting big chalk marks on boards and erasing things and using chalkboards. They could redo it and do it correctly in a second with a spreadsheet. It made all the difference in the world and launched the PC business in the United States and the rest of the world. After the bell last night, Snap came out with its earnings. I'm calling it the social pariah, not the social network. Dysfunctional network, social, pariah, dysfunctional network, who knows. It plopped, but it didn't really even make people a dime. The reason why? Well, guess what? People were paying such high premiums to short this that the $5 plop hardly made any difference. It now has to go down for them to start making $1. The premiums have been anywhere up to $7 on this stock to get short. And again, I think at some point those shorts will come off, and it's already had a couple little pops. But I think this any kind of good news on this could cause a stampede and maybe one of the better day plays in a long time. But you'll have to catch it and have a fast finger. But pretty good. What else do we have going on? That's about it. It's a pretty kind of quiet day. Looking at 61.02 and a close lower than that on the NASDAQ. The S&P looks like 23.89 and lower would pretty much say we are going to continue selling into the weekend. And again, tomorrow, of course, is Friday. A lot of people don't like to get in front of the train. And I think that's kind of what you would be doing if you are buying this weekend. If you really are bullish, I think you probably have a better shot on Monday. I suspect, though, we are going down into a week from Friday, and any kind of bounce is probably an opportunity to sell. So that's kind of it on that. We will get into well, I am not in the camp. I think we're headed lower. What else do we have? We'll look at a few other stocks out here. Wanted to see how some of these stocks that were challenging the previous highs were doing today. 3D Systems, again, huge short interest in this stock, but up yet again today. Just 3.5 million shares so far, going up against April 14th high at $19.79 with 14.4 million shares. So up about $1.50, a little more, maybe almost $2 above that previous high without volume. Of course, these are the days where you really need it. We had kind of a sign of strength coming up, starting to fade down. Anyway, we're going to break. We'll be back after this. We'll be looking at more and more stocks. Give me a call.
TFNN is excited about our new software charting program, The Art of Timing the Trade Charts. In collaboration with Tom O'Brien and using his best-selling book, The Art of Timing the Trade, Your Ultimate Trading Mastery System, David White has programmed an outstanding piece of software that will complement any trader's methodology. Using this first-of-its-kind program, The Art of Timing the Trade Charts allows you to scan thousands of stocks for Fibonacci formation setups, including Gartley's, ABC's, butterflies, and much more. The Art of Timing the Trade Charts is designed to help you when scouring the markets for stocks just beginning to form the trading patterns that many investors spend days, weeks, or even months searching to find. And right now, we're offering licenses available at only $79 a month. We are so confident that you're going to love this new charting software that will even give you a 30-day unconditional money-back guarantee. Don't miss out on this incredible new piece of software. Get your copy of The Art of Timing the Trade Charts today by visiting TFNN.com.
Tiger TV is an exciting way to experience TFNN programming. See high-definition video giving you crystal clear charts, as well as seeing some of the faces of TFNN's highly acclaimed financial experts with crisp, full-fidelity sound. Catch Tom O'Brien, John Logan, Steve Rhodes, Basil Chapman, Larry Pesavento, Think or Swim, David White, Andy Hecht, and Daryl Martin in crystal clear, high-definition audio and video. Tiger TV, exclusively at TFNN.com. Platinum, grains, crude oil, gold, copper, cattle, hogs, gasoline, natural gas, coffee, cotton, cocoa, and sugar. These are just some of the commodities mentioned in the most recent issue of Andy Hecht's Techno-Mental Commodity Report. Andy publishes his weekly newsletter every Thursday morning, where he breaks down the commodity market and provides his subscribers with specific trading recommendations based on his trading methodology. By signing up for a free trial to the Techno-Mental Commodity Report, you'll get a full 30 days to try out this powerful newsletter service and see for yourself the types of trades Andy has recommended for his subscribers. When you sign up for a 30-day free trial, you're under no obligation to pay anything. And should you decide to continue, you will lock in the low rate of only $79 a month. Sign up right now for the Techno-Mental Commodity Report and make sure you're ready to catch the next big trade in commodities. For more information and to get started today, visit the front page of TFNN.com. Many of our new listeners have heard about the Tiger's Den, but wondered, what exactly is it? The Tiger's Den is a lively community where professional traders and investors can meet, exchange ideas and information in a comfortable, moderated atmosphere. Hear all of your favorite TFNN shows, plus see all the charts as they happen live during those shows and have access to all those charts. You can test drive the Tiger's Den absolutely free for 30 days. It will greatly enrich your knowledge of these markets. Details on the Tiger's Den are on the front page of TFNN.com. Dave takes your phone calls now. Toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Internationally at 727-445-1044.
And we are back. Anyway, we were talking about 3D systems when we left. Wanted to see how some of these other stocks were doing. HLF, which is Herbalife, testing a 35 million share high on about 1 million shares yesterday. It's back down, a little hammer out here, no confirmation. It's had 2 strong days up after a gap up and kind of ran all the shorts out here. We'll see how this thing does in the next few days. Splunk, another one out here kind of breaking through its resistance level. The energy's been nothing in comparison to previous legs from the December 30th low. And this one, as it's made its way to its high. So you've got a fairly decent resistance level here in Spunk today. So Microsoft was lower. We commented yesterday that the NASDAQ was down too, but kind of commented they didn't have anything new to show, and that was a little bit worrisome. They did pop down today. Volume's not all that exciting. My guess is this is making its way back to 66.50. We'll see what happens after that. See if there's anything else out here. VIPs, no big deal. World Wrestling Federation. This thing is all over the news in L.A. as these guys are really pushing. Now that The Rock's a big draw in the theaters, they're pushing more and more to get some of their guys into that kind of business. Not a bad-looking chart out here. Kind of tough to find one that you could in theory, buy if the market decided to turn up. Nice 3 advancing soldiers going back and starting on the 9th of February. You had a decent volume. You did have kind of a bad down day on the 18th of April, but it's kind of come down again. But back to support this $19.50 level. I'm not a big WWE fan, so I can't tell you if there's a seasonality to this or whatever, but one of the few stocks, 2314 up there would be your target. Not a bad target at all. Wolverine Worldwide, WWWW. This one is back up to its resistance level. And, of course, it hit that yesterday and reversed today. 3.5 million shares yesterday, going into a gap down that had about 740,000 shares. So not the biggest thing in the world, but again, we're at pretty tough resistance level at a lot, or for a lot of those stocks. Real question to take a look at the XLE. You can always email me at path@tfnn.com or put a message in the den, path@tfnn.com, or call me at 877-927-6648. Now, we've had a little bounce out of here in the energy sector. Today, though, pretty puny, wimpy, fairly light little touch out here as we go. My thought is that this is the first bounce, and maybe you get a pullback to the 65.83, and you do it on lighter volume, and that's where you could buy some of these. Right now, all you are is up to the uptrend of a very big downtrend in energy, and that on no volume today. So we can do it that. EOG, did that have earnings last night, if I'm not mistaken? Or the night before? It was the night before, 2 days ago. Nice volume move up here. Of course, EOG Resources is big into natural gas plays. This has just gone up to the gap down that goes back to the 26th of April. You had 2.1 million shares on that. Yesterday, you got into it with 5 million shares. Today, 1.5 million shares as it kind of pulls back a little bit. Again, most of these stocks, you've gotten what James Wyckoff called the automatic rally. That is a rally without a lot of preparation, without a lot of thought. And what you want to see, especially in a lot of these, is a pullback to support. In this case, you want to see this test 88.20 with less than 5 million shares. You're probably done with the automatic rally here going into summer. And if you're heavily in natural gas, something is truly going to happen to hold this thing up. It is going to be problematic. What else do we have? Okay, a little higher. Up that's down 4 points on the S&P cash right now. So we will look at a few others. We've got the Permabill bulls in the Tiger's Den right now. Markets only go up, you know that. We looked at Microsoft. I'm being facetious, of course. We've looked at Facebook. This thing is kind of coming back, a little lighter volume out here today. So I keep seeing this probably fill the gap. 148, if you were wanting to get into this, would be the place. I think this is kind of long in the tooth to be doing that, but what the hey. What do we have out here? Okay. Facebook. Let's take a quick look at Amazon. Amazon. Is this thing rolling today? A little higher, no volume in this one. So we'll take a look at that. 2.3 billion shares in the NYSE. It's a little bit of a pullback. It's been kind of moving up, but no real volume. So kind of a missed day there. Let's take a quick look at IBM. Of course, it was the center this weekend of invectives from Mr. Buffett. This is back down into a high volume low, almost about another $3 to the 146.46 low of October 18th that had 12.7 million shares. Not bad out here, 3.2 million shares. I always wondered whether Mr. Buffett was slamming this stock to buy his some more shares out here around the 150. He's been known to do that. Of course, it's done nothing but go down. You need another $3 on this, so maybe we get that on Monday. The energy on this has been a little bit more. You've had two big gaps. So the problem you would have is you're going to bet that there is going to be one more big gap lower in IBM, but that one big gap lower would have me looking fairly hard at this thing if it was on lighter volume. And yeah, stocks only go to the sky. That's the only thing they do. They never surprise, and they never dip, and they never go lower. Let's take a quick look at Snap. Snap did snap, as we talked earlier in the day. This IPO hasn't been around for that long. effect, though. The first day was on March 2nd. You're down with some fairly decent volume. You have broken the March 17th low. But as we said, this thing wasn't out for a couple of days where everybody was shorting it and paying $5 and $6 premium to get it short. I'm going to have to look at this very hard. But my thought may be that this thing is so short that if I was going to play a long, this may be the one long, because there aren't that many longs left. Fairly narrow exits on this one, as there's just not that much in the way of a float. And any kind of good news in this thing could really launch it, but I'm going to need a few more days to take a look at that. Have a quest on Apple out here on whether or not this thing is going to the moon. Now, we'll talk about that when we come back. Down a little earlier this morning, kind of coming back a little bit. Not a lot of volume out here today. My thought is this thing is coming back to 125. No sign yet, though, that this thing has cracked the high. We'll be back after that.
The Path of Least Resistance is David White's daily trading newsletter, and if you're looking for active trading ideas, then now's a perfect time for a 30-day free trial to this powerful daily trading advisory service. David uses his years of trading experience to offer his subscribers his trading ideas each morning in his Path of Least Resistance newsletter. Using a combination of equity trades along with options, David keeps his subscribers up to date with all pertinent market information with intraday afternoon updates when warranted. Don't miss out on this great chance to get a 30-day free trial to David's daily newsletter, The Path of Least Resistance, with no obligation to pay anything. David has been delivering solid recommendations for his subscribers recently, and if you'd like to see the type of newsletter he delivers every morning, then visit the front page of TFNN and you'll find the Path of Least Resistance under Trading Newsletters. For all the details and to start your 30-day free trial today, log on to TFNN.com now. Biotech is booming, but for how long? Whether you think the biotech bull has room to run or has run its course, trade LABU or LABD. Directions Daily S&P Biotech 3 times bull and bear ETFs. Visit directioninvestments.com/biotech today. An investor should consider the investment objectives, risks, charges, and expenses of the Direction shares carefully before investing. The prospectus and summary prospectus contain this and other information about Direction shares. To obtain a prospectus or summary prospectus, please contact Direction shares at 866-476-7523. The prospectus or summary prospectus should be read carefully before investing. An investment in the funds is subject to risk, including the possible loss of principal. The funds are designed to be utilized only by sophisticated investors such as traders and active investors. Distributor Foreside Fund Services, LLC. Has the current market volatility continued to stop you out of trades when the market spikes against you? Now is the perfect time to open up an account with Nadex. Nadex, the North American Derivatives Exchange, is a brand new, completely regulated Chicago-based exchange, and unlike most other exchanges, Nadex allows you to trade directly through them with direct market access when using their completely free trading platform, which also features real-time charts and full customization capability. One of the advantages of trading with Nadex in volatile markets is that your risk is always capped and you have the ability of keeping your trades open even when the market spikes against you. Nadex is completely brand new with a line of unique trading products that are unavailable anywhere else. See how it works at nadex.com. That's NADEX.com. Or click on the Nadex banner on the front page of TFNN.com. Futures and options trading involves risk and may not be appropriate for all investors.
This segment is brought to you by Think or Swim. For more information, just click the Think or Swim banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
I do want to go through some of these stocks and how they're trading a day later. Is there any giant retracement in Disney? Well, it's a little higher than it was closed yesterday, but kind of just a little dragonfly out here for its doji and not much volume. Electronic Arts moving higher. That's the problem when you get these huge moves. A lot of times it just leads to an exhaustion move. Kind of what you're seeing in this thing, fairly light volume as it goes sideways. Fossil, of course, a big disappointment. Nothing more disappointment today as it heads a little bit lower back down to yesterday's low of $13.65. And, of course, not that many people wearing watches anymore. Fuel, after its earnings, it's up a little off the huge slam down yesterday to $3.06. This is a recent data mining company acquisition. Up a little bit, but on fairly light volume. I don't see any of these things really coming back that big. We talked about GW Pharmaceuticals going through its previous low. This is a stock that develops drugs to replace opiates, i.e. heroin, using marijuana. A little kind of spiked down today. I'm not going to jump up and down about the volume so much. It's actually a little lighter. But you still need to close above 107.10 to put a bottom in that one. Actually not a bad-looking chart, and you're back into this giant sign of strength that goes back to September 7th in 2016. That day you had 3.1 million shares. So back into it with 500,000 is not that bad. This is one of the few stocks that looks like it's got some fairly decent support levels in it in the pharma business. Jazz Pharmaceuticals, this one after it kind of spiked down yesterday, a little bit lower. Volume is not all that exciting out here. Now, you've got a gap at 147, actually a double gap. I think this one's probably a good shot to at least test that part, 146, 147. You got a second gap down to 135, so I would be very worried about that one going long. Merrimack Pharmaceuticals, not much in that one. What do we want to talk about? I want to talk about NVIDIA. NVIDIA actually showed a new product last night that was rather interesting. So they got a little bit of I didn't think they were going to have much today, but they did show that new product. So they had some continuation. A lot of people shorted it yesterday at this previous level that had been pretty heavy resistance. December 28th high at 119.93. The February 7th high at 120.92, and this push out here where I think they just ran all the shorts that piled on yesterday thinking that 120 would hold. This gets fairly interesting for a fill of this gap from 2 days ago in that, again, everybody that's going to be long this thing at one point is going to be long. It's going to be very tough to hold these up. What you want is a day in this, if you're long, the signal to sell. But the signal to sell and or the short signal are probably going to be the same thing. That's going to be a big day up, reverses itself, and for 3/4 of the day, there's no volume in it. You're going to see a big spike. They're going to run all the shorts, and then that will be it. But the stock too heavy to short for me. Price line, of course, also getting thumped down a little bit farther down in the dumps today. It's got a nice gap going back to the April 24th gap up at 852,000 shares. My guess is that we're going to come back down. That gets you to about 1760. That's just the first move. I think that you could see 1650 and possibly even back down to the breakout area. That's what is that? It's about I'm going to call that about 1450. So it wouldn't be surprising for me to see this thing come back to this and gap out of this long consolidation level and come right back down to that 1450, 1500 support level over time. I'm not big fans of the travel business anymore. Wasn't very much at all, but those things kept going up higher and higher and higher without really any fundamental reason. The earnings haven't been getting that much better. Silver Wheaton, we've talked about a lot of these stocks with lower highs and higher lows. Again, still stuck in a great deal of these. Not a big movement out of earnings for this one, SLW. But again, you're waiting for, at this point, I'm waiting for a big spike to figure out which side is the wrong side, thinking that the first move out of this is going to be a head fake. Soda disappointed on earnings. A little higher than yesterday. No volume, though. The massive spike yesterday down to, what was that? Low of the day. What was that? 49.33. Kind of blew away a lot of folks. There aren't a lot of weak hands left in this. But again, probably 3 days before you'd look at maybe shorting it. Maybe it bounces a little. The rest of the market decides to come back with it. Let's see if we have anything. Trip just came up to its gap and came right back down today. Again, this is a lot more common than the stocks that they flog on financial infotainment. But a gap down on huge volume on the 16th of February. Yesterday on earnings, they popped this thing up on 8 million shares, but still not enough to go up against that 12.4 million share day back on the 16th of February. Popped right back into the lower trading range out here. $40.45 is where this thing's probably going to come at least one more time. And again, not a big fan of the travel business. We talked about TrueCar and whether or not you could get any of these stocks to start getting lower opens. We talked about this one specifically. We finally have one. This one is a good shot across the bow. It's too cheap for me to short, but this is exactly what you're looking for in these highs. The car business, pretty horrible. Toyota out a day or so ago with bad news and bad numbers, and Nissan today. So again, a little lighter. This thing's just back into the trading range. No big deal out here. Turiso, let's see how this one, it didn't do much on earnings and actually just kind of back up today. TTNP headed to even lower lows. VCEL, VCEL, Vericel. This one's, just looks like it's going to come back to 225. VMC, we talked about this one for a while, I think yesterday. I wanted to see how this one did after it spiked higher. And now it's got kind of back-to-back spikes. Spike lower, higher yesterday, spike lower today to fill this gap. You've got a double gap. To me, I don't think you could even think about buying it till it came back to about 124. You've got a double gap there that started on the 7th of February, gap across that same gap down on May 2nd. And that's 124 is right where this thing is going to home back in. What else did we have? Whirlwind, Yelp. See what Yelp's doing today. Of course, it was the got the loser horn yesterday. A little pop out here today. Don't see that much in this one either, at least today. We'll have to take a look at it. 23.93 on the S&P cash. We're off 6 points. 2.445 billion shares. We'll talk about the numbers we're looking for and the closed under that would set up a big sell signal.
If you're an active trader looking for that extra edge when it comes to trading and investments, then now is a great time to get a 2-week free trial to Tom O'Brien's daily market letter, Market Insights. Tom O'Brien's daily newsletter, Market Insights, comes out every market day at around 9:30 a.m. and provides Tom's daily commentary on the broad market, including the Dow, NASDAQ, and S&P, plus specific trade recommendations. There's even an update published most afternoons to keep you informed about the day's market activity. He'll give you the entry price, price target, and stop price of each stock and option trade. With Market Insights, there's nothing left to guessing. For all the details and to get your 2-week free trial to Market Insights started today, visit TFNN.com.
Today, it's hard to tell if the economy is coming or going. Regardless, I want my money going in the direction I choose. If that's your stance as well, then you want to know how Everbank can help keep your money thriving just the way you want. Is growing your money a priority? Everbank is committed to a yield pledge promise to pay high yields on your checking, money market, and CD balances. Looking to diversify? Everbank ingeniously developed accessible ways to spread your money around the world into foreign currencies and even non-FDIC insured metals. And when it comes to your wealth, they bring a highly experienced and global perspective to help you manage it. Everbank's financial philosophy flies in the face of the status quo. They believe your money's performance should not be determined by today's economic circumstances, but by the drive to rise above them and create opportunities that favor your objectives. If that excites you like it does me, visit everbank.com/TFNN to find out what they can do for you. Again, that's everbank.com/TFNN. Visit them today. Everbank is a member FDIC and equal housing lender.
TFNN is excited to offer a brand new piece of market scanning software unlike anything the industry has ever seen. John Logan and his team have spent years developing their market profile tools to finally be able to release the TAS Profile Scanner Plus. And right now you can get a 2-week trial absolutely free just by visiting TFNN.com and providing us your name and email address. The TAS Profile Scanner Plus is the premier market profile based scanner in the industry. Powered by the acclaimed TAS proprietary algorithms, this feature-rich scanner is a standalone desktop software that instantly filters over 2,500 global financial markets such as stocks, ETFs, commodity futures, and Forex. Within 3 minutes of signing up, you can have the software downloaded and running on your computer with a complete roadmap of market indicators and inflection points to trade off using the TAS Profile Scanner Plus. Sign up today and try this amazing piece of software by visiting TFNN.com.
This segment is brought to you by TFNN. Test drive all the newsletters for free at TFNN.com.
Question in the den, is there a buy level for Intel? And I don't think so. First of all, the energy off this April 27th high was far too much. This thing's going to need to consolidate wherever it consolidates. My second thought out here, wrong chart. Where's it at? Come on. There we go. Is that this is a stock that is having lower highs and higher lows. So, you know, you are pretty much into the apex of the triangle already. You want to fade 80% of the time the first time this thing breaks out of that triangle. And I don't see anything that's going to break it out. Maybe they'll come out with an announcement. But for me, I think this stock is a buy mid-late summer. A lot of their new products are going to hit in volume then. And I think you're probably going to see Wall Street wake up to the fact that they do have some new stuff coming out. And it should be fairly high margin. Some of those those new products are being sampled right now, and normally you got about a 3-month lead time. So May, June, July, August, maybe. I think probably maybe early August, this thing's going to start getting some juice from those new products, especially in artificial intelligence, machine learning, in-memory databases. They got a lot of stuff going for them. And I think that's when this thing, till then, it's maybe a short trade. I think not a short trade, but a trade of short duration. Let me put it that way. But again, I don't think there's any play here to be had. Too much volume to the downside. An asymmetrical, I'll have to get over saying asymmetrical triangle. A triangle, and you want to watch this thing break the first time. I've never been good at guessing which ones these break, but like to fade the other way most of the times out here. So I just think that there are a lot of other stocks. I don't see an edge in Intel. What else do we have? We go back to our chart. Oh, we were going to talk about support levels. If I can find my, there we go. What is it? IXIC, is that it? Yeah, there we go. Hang on a second. Yeah. Come on, there we go. I'm not looking for much out here in the way of a lower close to really set up a move back down in the NASDAQ composite. My thought is the middle of this gap comes somewhere around 59.50, and I think that's kind of where we're headed back to. We'll have to take a look at this, but that's kind of in the area that I'm looking on it. I think you don't need to get much under this $6,100 level on it. We at what, 61.14? I'm thinking a 61.02 close or something like that, either today or tomorrow, could really set this up. Same thing in the S&P cash. When we look at it, I'm thinking that just close under 23.89 would pretty much flip a lot of black boxes into the sell mode. We don't have to move much off of a high to get that. And again, we're going to be pretty much in double repo patterns in many of these in the next couple of days. Let's see what else we have to take a look at. Question about the TLT in my email. I haven't seen anything. I thought that the break above 122 was a false breakout. We're back into this, and I don't think anything's happening other than we're bouncing around from 116.5 to 122 until we get a break with some energy. I would be incredibly scared that the 116.49 of March 13 does break if we start picking up steam as we get back down below this 120 level. Kind of touched it today and bounced. But as we get closer to these levels, I suspect we're going to have big volume days in the range of 15 million shares in the TLT on that. But you already have off the top the same kind of energy that you had all the way up from that one, that March 13th low. So this is, it's not huge volume off the top, but significant volume off the top in the TLT. And you could be in this bigger trading range from the false breakout. And of course, there's nothing worse than a false breakout in something like one of these big things where you had a lot of people get on the wrong side of this market and now riding it back down. So a big bear here in the TLT to get 116.49, which I think is highly probable coming up quick. We looked at the XLE. I got a question to look at the XLF. I don't know if there's a good thing to say about this one other than the fact that it's so news-driven on headlines on whether or not we're going to have tax cuts. There's probably easier ways to play this. Right now, you really don't have that much of a move in XLF. So what? We've been basically flat since the gap up on the 24th of April. I don't see that changing anytime soon. We'd have to have a big move. Other stocks of interest, question to take a look at AMAT. Haven't looked at this one for a while. Well, you certainly much lighter volume at this time than we had yesterday. 11.5 million shares yesterday. So far, 7.3 million shares. Could we get up to 10? We could. No sell signal in this. But again, this is everybody riding the tailcoats of NVIDIA today. Don't see much change in that. Question about Macy's. Retail still stinks. There's nothing else to say about it other than that. A lot of promises that are undelivered. This is solidly broken through the support level it had at $29 for a while. And I don't know what else to say about it other than now you need to really start looking back and to the left, back and to the left. Oh, I thought I was in that movie again. Back and to the left, back and to the left. But man, you know, once you get through these levels, there is a $5 low in Macy's going back to March 5th, 2009. And from what I saw this morning, I wouldn't bet against a $5 low again. I think you could easily get back down into those levels. Malls are the equivalent of Ebola in retail these days. So I don't know what else you could say about that. A few other stocks. Is it PayPal PPYL? PYLL? What's PayPal? I'll find it during the break. PYL? PayPal. We'll look at this when we come back.
Tom O'Brien's weekly gold letter, The Gold Report, gives complete and concise coverage of the entire gold market. Inside, you'll get Tom's commentary on gold, the dollar, the rand, the bond, the XAU, the HUI, and detailed coverage of nearly 25 mining stocks. He'll give you the entry price, price target, and stop price of each stock trade. The Gold Report is a long-term newsletter where the focus is on building real wealth through the management of a successful portfolio of gold stocks. With a lifetime of knowledge and almost 12 years of writing his informative weekly newsletter, The Gold Report, Tom O'Brien can provide you with the important market information to help you make better trades in the gold market. Don't let the next bull run in gold pass you by. To get a month-long free trial to The Gold Report, an $85 value, visit the front page of TFNN.com today.
David White's newsletter, The Technology Insider, is focused like a laser on finding the next big things in technology. If you had invested only $10,000 in Microsoft in 1986, you'd have been a millionaire by 2000. Disruptive technology like Microsoft's is the key to these massive long-term profits, and the Tech Insider is the vehicle from TFNN to capitalize on these opportunities. This is the go-to newsletter that identifies, monitors, and profits on mostly little-known cutting-edge companies with great long-term prospects. David's experience is as an inventor of Emmy-winning animation products for TV and Hollywood that propelled a company public. Match that with 14 years as a full-time trader, and he's uniquely qualified to guide you through the light-speed world of ever-evolving high-tech. If you're ready to ride the next big technology bull market for less than $40 per month, log on to TFNN.com and get your 2-week free trial to the Technology Insider. Get in on the ground floor of the next big thing today.
Hi, I'm Steve Rhodes, host of the Trader's Edge, heard daily at TFNN.com and author of Mastering Probability, a daily investment and trading newsletter service that I send out each morning by 8 a.m. My morning newsletter service covers exactly what the markets have been doing since last night's close, providing you with an edge on your trading day ahead. You get actionable trading ideas, including the exact entry, stop, and profit targets. Plus, I'll teach you the patterns and hidden market correlations that will make you a better trader. As a subscriber, you'll gain access to my 90-minute money management workshop, where I'll teach you the secrets that'll save your assets. The bottom line, I've got your back, including a 30-day money-back guarantee. See for yourself the type of analysis I provide each trading day by signing up for Mastering Probability today. With nothing to lose, this is an offer you should not pass on. Mastering Probability can be found under Trading Newsletters on the front page of TFNN.com.
Catch Tom O'Brien, professional trader and educator, founder of TFNN. Also, a special guest on CNBC. Tom will bisect and dissect the markets. The Tom O'Brien Show, next on TFNN.
After the bell tonight, we've got Nordstrom. That's fraught with disaster. Again, one of the reasons why I suspect that we're headed down into the weekend. We've got after Macy's, we've got just a murderer's row of missers coming up. I don't know if it's already in the price or not, but I can't imagine many of these getting good. Of course, Nordstrom already down on Macy's sales. And of course, the worse it gets for everyone if you're in the mall business, because it's all about getting more foot traffic in the door. This is down pretty decent volume today. Of course, they're already tuning up for earnings after the bell with that one. And of course, another disgusting one is JCPenney's. That comes out tomorrow morning. Does it go solidly under $5 for the last time? I think it could. I think this is, I think we're watching the Titanic split in half here for J.C. Penney's after Macy's. If Macy's not doing well, this is probably a buck lower going into the close tomorrow. They may come up with some phony buyout from somebody else. Maybe that pops the stock for a day or two. But I don't think there's any reason to think that there's anything really left in this. They may financial engineer their way to another month or two of higher prices. Hard to tell. I wouldn't short a $5 stock. Certainly would not be long. But again, kind of a murderer's row of horrible stocks that have been doing horrible tonight and tomorrow. Another metal company out in the morning, too. That's Archer Mittal. And actually not too bad on that one. Let's see if there's anything else out here. Uranium Resources, URRE. This is out here, just been going sideways for a while at $1.50. No volume in these. I thought maybe these, with the energy stocks coming back, we might see a little bit in that. But let's see if there's anything else out here. Dr. Reddy's Laboratory, that's generic drugs. This thing, I thought when I looked at it last week, I thought it was flat. It's flat yet again. Here's a good one not to be in for earnings. This one's giving you absolutely nothing to hang on to. It's been going sideways back since the 11th of April. So you've got a good month on this thing doing nothing but going sideways and nothing on it. To know what else. Now, that's about it for earnings. See if there's anything next week that gets us fired up as we check out today. Of course, Monday morning before the bell, we go and look at HD. This thing's done nothing but go straight up. And the question is this price for perfection? I think maybe a bit. You're seeing that kind of pullback today. Is it worth it? Holding it through earnings where most of these stocks not doing that much, NVIDIA being the exception to the rule. Down, volume didn't pick up a lot out here, so I'm not going to get too excited. But what can we do out here? Oh, no wonder. I got 10 years set on this. Okay, here's a better view with volume. A little pullback out here today. This thing, I've checked. I think you could easily think that this comes back to 151, which is not the end of the world at 156. But come Monday morning, we'll be looking at that. Another one that's been having trouble is Dick's Sporting Goods. We'll go through these on the show tomorrow. But Monday, we got TJ Maxx. It disappointed last time. Staples, Cereal Disappointer. Some others. I'm just thinking we're kind of in the weak part of the batting lineup out here for the next few days. I think we could pull back. We'll see you tomorrow. Same bat channel, same bat time. So when you can, not when you have to.
Larry Pesavento has just started his brand new service, Fibonacci 24/7, and he's already delivering content to his subscribers on a daily basis when the market's opened and even on weekends. Each Monday, you'll receive Larry's written report that provides detailed commentary and a summary on the charts and videos that Larry sends out. And throughout the week, when warranted, Larry will send out via charts or videos or both the key markets that he is watching during the day. This will be up-to-the-date, active trading information that will help you in your daily trading. In Larry's first week alone, he sent out 25 charts, 6 videos, and a full report to his subscribers in just 1 week. If you're a technical trader that uses patterns and retracements to trade, then Larry's service Fibonacci 24/7 is something that you must try. Right now, new subscribers can get a full 30-day money-back guarantee. With nothing to risk, sign up now to Larry Pesavento's Fibonacci 24/7 by visiting the front page of TFNN.com under Trading Newsletters.
You're watching Tiger TV.